All right, it's January 19th, 2026. And we've done a fair bit of work to the 185 this winter. Just some preventative maintenance. And I need to do a quick RTS flight and put a little bit of time on it. I'm gonna push these planes out. I'm gonna flap and look at the, I'm gonna flap and check on the Glacier Hut. So that is what I'm gonna try to successfully accomplish this afternoon. Pretty exciting. That was too long. That took too long. My excuse is that the traction to weight ratio of what I'm, traction to weight, it's not good today. It's challenging. But here we are. Now I just got to put some fuel in the wings and then go fly it. So yeah, it just came out of maintenance. So we did some bell crank, some rudder bell crank bushings. That is Joseph, my mechanic, my buddy, put some new bell crank bushings back here, which was a big win. They're getting pretty sloppy and they were starting to rock back and forth and rub. So we did that. And a number of other things, just all preventative stuff, like the pulleys were getting pretty gummed up in the floor down here for the flaps. Aileron, phenolic pulleys, we cleaned them all up, and some U-joint control, the little thing that connects this to the words are escaping me, but we did that. But yeah, it's time to go fly because I have to take this thing out on a job, and I always like to take it out for a rip, and go see if anything got forgotten before I go try to work it. So January 19th, a little bit of wind, a little bit of ice, beautiful blue skies, time to go play. Gotta save battery. I'm only at 13%. This year I was sumping an airplane, not one I normally fly, and it filled the whole thing with water. And the top itty bitty little portion was gas, and that made me uncomfortable. Anybody else like this? I'm OCD. I mean, I remember putting this cap on. I remember putting that cap on, but I just can't handle it. I just got to crawl up there and look one more time, and then I got to put my hand on the oil cap because I've had those come off in flight and it makes it hard to see. And then I got to do that, put in my, you know, just make a walk around. I like it. I see my caps, my cargo door shut. Okay, let's go see how she burns. It's been sitting for a couple of months, so I always like to see, I always like to leave it with fresh oil in it, so you can't even see it on the dipstick, but it's there. But I try not to ever let the airplane sit in a heated hangar with old oil, because I'm worried about creating corrosion on the cam, of course, and by keeping really fresh, clean oil in there, apparently helps reduce the acidity of the air in the crankcase. And I've had a couple of cam issues over the years. I can show those bad cams and cam followers to you, and it's the sort of thing that keeps you up at night. I mean, for real, it's awful because it's so expensive. Just about put us under in 2013. But all that to say, when I keep the airplane in the hangar in the winter, it always sits with brand new, fresh, clean oil. And I think that's a big help. So, which reminds me, I need to tape up my oil cooler right now before I go, because I want my oil temps to get up to at least 180, right? So I'm gonna go do that before I take off. When you tape this off, use really long pieces of tape that stick really good, because if you use short pieces, when this gets really hot, if that piece were to fall off, it goes down inside your cabin heat shroud. It goes down the scat tube and sticks to the muffler and creates a lot of smoke inside the cabin and stinks really bad if you use short pieces. We'll leave it there. I've heard that can happen. Okay, let's go. Yeah, so that went pretty great. I haven't been up to the hut. I haven't been on the ground. I haven't been on the ground at the hut since September. So that was the first I've seen of it in a while, maybe a couple months. My friend Mark with the helicopter, he sent me a couple photos, but it was good to see it. Not very much snow. That's kind of sad. Maybe only a foot or two, a couple feet maybe. But all in all, I was really happy. The solar panels are intact on the roof. It doesn't look like any major wind events had occurred. And at least they had a little snow. And no broken windows. Everything looked really good. So I'm going to push this thing back inside the hangar, which is always a challenge. Always a challenge when it's icy. So let's give that a shot. Yeah, so I've never had the maul in the back and the 185 in the front. So, but it made it. They're in. You doubted me, didn't you? I doubted me. And this, that's the approved method. That's the approved method for closing the door. Oh, I gotta get the four-wheeler. Yeah, so anyways, that's done. Everything's in. The 185 ran great. No issues. Very thankful.